Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. And welcome to another episode of Fight Night.
Fight Night!
I am Josie, joined by Mr. Stacks.
Josie, what it do? Happy Thursday to you and to the people who watch this now and later.
We are running on late schedule this week, but it's funny. It actually last year's episode popped up on my feed today, and we actually went on a Thursday last year talking about the draft.
Oh, no shit.
Really
what
funny.
are the odds of that? That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
First thing I want to talk about is some Dynamite last night.
Dynamite?
I know you had some of the audio issues.
I did. Did you have audio issues?
Not as bad as I've heard some people had.
Oh, Josie, I'll tell you, that shit was underwater. I tried to watch the first 30 minutes. I'm like, I can't do this. So I just caught those highlights, and I said, man, for as much as people pay for this stuff, you'd think they'd get the TBS would get that stuff figured out. It's unfortunate.
So, I have to say, I think that was one of the better Dynamites possibly ever. Like
that's a high bar. I mean, we've seen some good ones, but I mean, from the clips I saw, I mean it was crazy last night.
It had a little bit of everything. I thought
absolutely
some people, Bully Ray had problem with Swerve Strickland doing the Eliminator match versus Kyle Fletcher.
A lot of people had issues with that, but yeah,
that match was fantastic.
Oh, from the highlights I saw, that was an absolute. That was an absolute. That was a 5-star, 10
It was so good. It was so good. It was what you want. I mean, we all know Swerve is amazing. If you know Aussie Open and you follow New Japan at all, you know Kyle Fletcher can go. And
that can go.
Match was amazing. I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal.
Absolutely, Josie, and just to say too, I also felt like people act like it came out of the woodwork that he that he was going to fight Swerve, but really they were building him up with some promos before. Obviously, there wasn't a ton of build up for Swerve, but I mean they were building him up for something. So why not? This is the window.
They've just got to let it go. They've got to let it go.
Yep.
AEW
it's not
is
WWE.
going to have some storylines, which they do, which we're about to talk about. They started what I think could be one of the best storylines they've ever done last night. So
100%.
They do have some storylines, but sometimes, yes, to an extent, Tony is a mark, and he just gives you what he feels is going to be a great match, and it was a great match.
It was a banger. It was a banger.
Bully Ray said on Busted Open today that he should have just had a promo, and why is he having the match? And I was like, why
wouldn't you want him a match? Why wouldn't you want a match?
Why does a champion have to have just their first night after? Why do they have to just come out and do a promo? Why not have a match?
I agree 100%. It's a fighting champion. It's the opposite of what you see on some other shows. I mean,
and Samoa has been very particular about who he defended against. So
absolutely,
I don't know.
And they weren't going to put him on there on a weekly basis to fight. I mean, now you got Swerve, and you're able to do it. Like that's AEW to its core. I mean, it is.
Also, Will Ospreay winning the Casino Royale.
Saw that coming, but yeah, absolutely.
And it looks like I think Will Ospreay and possibly Kyle Fletcher are going to be leaving the Don Callis family soon. During Kyle Fletcher's match, Don Callis wanted him to use a table and he didn't. And then after that match, after he hurt Brian this weekend, he said in the media scrum that he was going to retire the Tiger Driver 92.
The Tiger Driver. Yep.
Um,
Hmm.
so he went for it in that match and then just kind of changed his mind. And Callis after the match was like, "You got to use it on
You gotta
Roderick
use it.
Strong," and
Hmm.
I could see that there's a fracture coming there.
Oh,
Um,
100%. Yep.
and honestly, I would love to see Kyle Fletcher, um, Will Ospreay form some type of united empire.
United Empire. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would agree. As much as we've seen, from last night with that, with what you've seen, and then with the highlights I saw, at least for last night. I mean, it would be nice to have some other sort of build. So to build that tandem, I think that'd be fantastic.
Um, you got a celebration for Willow Nightingale, our new TBS champion. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah! I knew coming on tonight, Josie, you were gonna be geeked for that. I knew it. I knew it.
I'm pretty sure she's losing it at Double or Nothing,
Oh,
but
absolutely. Yep. I would. That would be my thing. Is that I think she does drop it, but you might as well give it to her now, and I think it's gonna be a hell of a build leading up to it. So,
yeah,
I do think that'll be fun, and she's really switched up her character a little bit ever since
I really do believe a heel turn is coming.
yep, I
I
do.
100.
I
I
do. I
believe
do.
a Willow
Yep.
Nightingale heel turn is coming. Um,
Yep.
what else? You had that match.
I was trying to
Um,
see.
it looks
Yeah.
like Adam Cole is back.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, Josie, I guess I'm curious from your standpoint. Not that he's not going to come back, and not that it's, but I mean, there's a lot of things floating around on Twitter. Of course, the IWC goes crazy this time of year, and especially with Adam Cole and just the history. I mean, do we think at any point that he's taking it serious, that he's going to hang it up?
has that been a rumor? I haven't heard that. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I mean,
ah,
it's floating around, but I mean,
I
the
I
legitimacy,
don't
yeah,
think
probably not.
after I don't think after what he fought to come back from a few before this, after
Oh, I was
missing
gonna
what
say
he was out
absolutely
for a year,
a year at
I
least,
just
right?
don't
Yeah,
feel a broken ankle is going to say
yeah,
I've
that's
got
gonna
to
be the
hang
nail
it
in the
up.
coffin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think
that's gonna
so.
be the nail in the coffin.
Especially because it
I
was
don't either.
really just a dumb luck. He jumped off
Yeah,
that
it
ramp.
was.
I watched it
Yep,
happen. I saw it. I was like, "Ooh, he just broke his ankle."
yep, yep.
Um,
Similar to our guy CM Punk, Phil Brooks. Very,
yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So I don't see him hanging it up. I don't think he's cleared yet
No, I
because
don't think
of
so
the
either.
way they're representing him. But um, what I am gonna find funny about this is what I always find funny about Adam Cole.
Uh-huh.
When he is on TV and he is doing his thing, he is one of the top guys.
It's
Everybody is
fantastic because
talking
he's
about it.
charismatic. He
And
he has that it factor, Josie.
and then when he gets hurt or he goes away, everybody wants to talk shit about his size and
Yep.
everything else. So
It's
once he's fully cleared, I give it 6 months. He'll be back to being
yep.
one of the top guys in AEW.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was just really unfortunate timing, especially when MJF went out, we really thought we were gonna get something, and then boom,
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
he's just been
honestly,
out, and it's just rough.
honestly, I think Adam Cole would be champion right now had it
Oh,
not
100%.
been
Oh yeah.
for
No,
that.
yeah. Everything looks a heck of a lot different if he stays healthy. I agree.
Yeah,
Yep. I mean, I would still hope that Swerve is contending for the title, but yeah, he's definitely the holder, 100%.
I'm so happy though that the first African American champion is Swerve Goddamn Strickland.
100%.
Man,
This man has earned it tenfold, 6 ways to Sunday.
Oh yeah.
You've said it previously on multiple episodes that we've done, that it was long overdue. And I'm not completely upset like everybody else was in the IWC that he didn't come out and talk. Like, this is AEW, like we just talked about it. This is AEW.
Yeah.
It's different.
I do feel like they're pushing this slogan a little bit too much. With the we're the best wrestle. Like I
Yeah.
it's kind
No,
of
I would
feeling
agree. I would agree.
it's kind of feeling a little Michael Cole to me. But
100%.
I
I will
do
concur.
agree with that. I do agree, and not to say we're the best wrestle, but it's wrestling. It's
It's
not.
pure wrestling. It's
It's
pure wrestling.
pure
It's
wrestling, and
pure
the
wrestling.
the biggest problem is that Tony really tries to represent it as a sport. It is
Yep.
tries to represent it more like it
Yep.
is represented in Japan and
Yep.
Mexico, where it's not just seen as entertainment. um,
Absolutely.
and uh, all right, so we got to talk about it. Jack Perry returned to Dynasty. As I said, I
You did
fucking
say it.
called
You
it.
did. You called it. You've called it.
One
You,
day y'all are
you,
gonna
you,
learn
Josie with her crystal ball. Josie's got
when
her
it
crystal ball.
when it comes to
She just
wrestling,
sets it home
guys.
and she's got it. You know what I
When
mean?
it
That's
comes to wrestling, I like to think I'm right all the time, but I know I'm not. But when it comes to motherfucking wrestling, 90% of the time, I'm right
yeah.
all the
I was
time.
gonna give you 80, but you definitely pushed it to 90 over these last several weeks. So I'll give you 90%. I'll give you 90%.
And I gotta say, since we don't have the just young buck haters on tonight, um,
Yep.
I'm loving this.
Kind of refreshing too, by the way, that we don't. Just kidding, Will. We love you.
Um,
No.
uh, I am loving this. I love
I'm. Yeah. Go ahead.
what the young bucks are doing with their EVP roles,
Oh,
and
100%.
I kind of had a feeling that all of this was coming with Tony because they had been basically their entire role that they've been doing for weeks is just mocking Tony Khan. They've
Mocking
been
Tony
mocking
Khan.
everything he
Yep.
does.
Yep.
And,
Trying to say they're the ones in power. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
and not just that, but like when they did the breaking news thing and then
The
cut away,
breaking news.
and
Yep.
like they have done so much to just like
Yep.
mock Tony. So it was, and then when they showed the footage, everyone wanted to bitch about the footage. I honestly think it helped. I think
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that one, Josie. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know if it really, and from my standpoint, I don't really know if it really did one thing or another. But I mean, at the end of the day, it made for good television, so I'll give it to him.
um and so you had Jungle Boy, the scapegoat, Jack Perry, um get
Yep.
involved in that match, make the Young Bucks the 3-time world tag team champions. Um
Yep.
he came out last night, and I gotta say, I was not excited for the Tony Khan Jack Perry face to face. I was like, oh my god, this is everything everybody talks about. This is going to be some corny ass bullshit. Like,
Yep.
please don't
Well,
do this.
I mean, let's be honest. Every time, I mean, just with his awkwardness, it's never a
Yes, because
surprise
he's
when it gets
just
that way.
so
He is.
awkward.
He's just so awkward. Yeah. No. 100%.
Um,
But I love it. I don't know it. I mean, I know a lot of people on, at least what I've seen on social media, they've been saying it, but it does kind of remind you, not in the same facet, but it's McMahon, Stone Cold, kind of that sort of thing, and I'm here for it.
um, so yeah, So Jungle Boy comes out, he talks. Um, Tony Khan comes out. There's the whole thing. By this point, I'm like, okay, it's happening. Like he's gonna do something. I, however, did not at all see the Young Bucks and Okada coming out and literally laying Tony out. And I gotta say, it surprised the absolute fuck out of me, which, as we just talked, does not happen very often when it comes to wrestling. And
Absolutely.
uh and then the other thing, Nick Khan made his TV debut.
A TV debut, baby. Oh,
Um,
boy, they laid him down so gently, though. Oh
they
boy.
did. They did.
Oh,
They
they
were
did.
very like
That
that.
that
That was
that
the
was almost
weakest.
comedic gold, though. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, but that
Oh,
was the weakest TK driver I've ever seen.
oh, oh my
Like,
God.
um, but even the people who hate on AEW, I have seen being like, this is amazing. Like, this could be a
Yep.
fantastic fucking storyline. And they're not
Yeah.
wrong, even
No,
to
they're not.
sell it. So it was announced a couple of days ago that they were going to be doing, the NFL Docs was going to be doing a documentary on Tony Khan running AEW and doing the draft simultaneously this
Mm-hmm.
weekend. There
Yep.
was a clip done today. He was in a neck brace.
Yeah,
He was in a
I was
damn
gonna
neck
say
brace.
I was gonna say if you could share it was so funny. Somebody tweeted out it'd be so funny if they show a shot of Khan at the draft in a neck brace. That'd be, and then
And
for
then
the
he
fact
was.
of that to happen, that's amazing.
Yeah, I gotta say, and then did you see the announcement? Kenny Omega returns next
Omega
week.
returns. That was quick.
I don't know if he's cleared.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's quick.
They're also in Montreal.
Yeah.
So he could just be making an appearance.
Just to get eyeballs. Yeah, that's fair.
Just to get
People in
eyeballs.
the
It's his
stands.
hometown.
Yep.
Um
Butts in the seats. Yep.
and then so happens that it falls right after this with the elites, like, oh man. Even to me, even if he's not cleared at this
Yep.
point, you have to bring him in
Play into
for
the
the
feud.
for
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say play into the storyline. Absolutely, you do. That's where the money is right now. You got to strike while it's hot. Hell yes. Yeah, I from what I saw, I loved it. I know a lot of people, or at least from what I've kind of read, there was some mixed feelings about what occurred last night. But I agree with you, Josie. I mean, granted, I'd like to go back and watch it full fledged, but it was a hell of a show they delivered last night.
I saw a lot of complaint about about John Moxley defending against Will Hobbs, and honestly,
Yes.
there was a Japanese wrestler that made a comment about it, and a lot of people leading into that and being like, he's right, Will doesn't deserve that. I can't remember the guy's name who made it. I guarantee I would put money on it. They're
Mm-hmm.
leading that up. Forbidden Door, guys, is 3 months away.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yep.
We are 3 months away from
Three
Forbidden Door.
3 months out.
And I was also proven right there because I was arguing with Will and
Tone.
Tone last week. They said that he wouldn't defend it in AEW. Wrong.
Wrong. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Why wouldn't you? You're on American television. Of course they're going to defend it on AEW.
And like they were saying it last night during that match. You could probably count on two hands how many times the New Japan World title has been defended on American television.
Yep.
Especially like free TV and not a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was going to say free. Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail right on the head there, Josie. Free television. Yeah, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah,
I gotta say, I between the pay-per-view and this, I feel like AEW is really they're firing hot right now. They're in a
yeah.
place that they haven't been in a while. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I I think this storyline has a lot of potential. I love Swerve Strickland as the champion. I love Willow as champion, even though I don't think it's going to last. I do think
Yep.
there is and I also think there's a chance that Osprey beats Strong.
Oh,
Um,
100%. I think that happens. Don't you?
and
100%.
I think so. I think so.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you? I,
It just,
I, I think, I think
yeah,
he has to hold something. He has to hold something.
and
Yeah.
well, and it's also the fact that he's undefeated right now, and I don't think Roderick
Yep.
Strong is the right person to
N-
break that. Um,
No, yeah,
uh,
I'll give you credit there. You said that for a while. I like Roddy, but no, I agree. Now,
he's
now the
not a world
Osprey's in there.
title. He's not a world
No,
title
no, no. That's fair.
guy, and
That's fair.
Osprey
Nope.
is a
That's fair.
world title guy.
He is. He is.
Um,
He is.
so I just feel like AEW is really hitting right now. I'm really happy with what's going on. Um, I'm even excited. Did you may not have seen this because I haven't seen the clips. So Trent Beretta turned last night.
I I I did see that. Yes.
Last night he was supposed to have a conversation with Cassidy and Chuck and
And Chuck.
attacked Orange before and called Chuck out. Well, Chuck sided with Orange and not Trent, and all called Trent a piece of shit.
Uh.
So, Collision Rampage is 3
Ooh,
hours this weekend because of playoffs. Rampage will
three
have a
hours
parking
because
lot.
playoffs. Yep.
Uh, Rampage will have a parking lot fight. Trent Beretta versus Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor. Oh, I'm excited
Because
for that. I'm gonna have to tune in.
I was gonna say the way they played it is Chuck can't get cleared for an actual match, so they
You can't get
will let
cleared.
him have
Yeah,
a parking lot match. So
I love
that's
it.
exciting because that's one thing
That
is the
is
best friends
gonna be.
are kind of known for in AEW is those parking lot matches. Um, so I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
I
that would
am
be fun. I'm
loving
definitely gonna have to tune in for that.
if this is going to lead to some Trent Beretta singles action. I am
I'm here
perfectly
for
okay
that.
with it because
I am here
I
for
think
that.
Trent
Yeah,
is
I was gonna say.
super talented. I think Trent is intercontinental or international champion, TNT champion. Am I by myself? I think I might be by myself. Um, Stacks will be right back, guys. There he is. You're muted.
Hey there, here I am. My bad, technical difficulties.
All right. So yeah, I think Trent is an international champion. I think he's a TNT champion.
I would agree.
Maybe not a world champion.
I was gonna say definitely not a world champion, but like you said, international, that sort of thing. He's right there.
Like Trent out of all of the best friends, and that's including Chuck and Trent and Orange and Rapungi and Rocky Romero and Danhausen and everybody. He is by far to me, other than Orange, who I fully believe Orange at some point will hold the AEW World Championship.
He should. I hope that's the case. I hope it happens.
Just to make everybody else mad, I hope it happens. The IWC would have a shit fit.
Oh, I would love it. Even if it's not that long a reign, I think you still got to give it to him.
I think he's definitely number 2 in that group by far.
I would agree.
So yeah, I'm excited for him versus Chuck Taylor. I also really enjoy Chuck. I also think Chuck is a funny guy and a good wrestler.
Absolutely, I think they're together, and when they were together, it was fantastic. So I'm interested to see what happens now that they've turned. I think they could turn this into something interesting.
You also got Chris Jericho and the Learning Tree, a whole new song, whole new Titatron. He's now going by the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. And Big Bill came out. It looks like he's going to join him. So yeah, I think AEW is flying good.
I do too.
Starting tomorrow, we have the WWE draft.
Yes.
I gotta say, I'm actually kind of excited for this. I feel like the draft means something for the first time in a long time under Triple H.
I have a feeling it's leaning that way. I was curious to get your take on this all week, but then we didn't get together. What are your thoughts on the rule of champions on each brand are protected?
I like it.
You like it?
I've always liked the idea of champions being locked in. I think honestly what they should do is champions are always locked in except maybe every 5 years. Just to refresh.
Just to switch it up
and rotate around. And I don't think that's even a draft. I think every 5 years, Triple H comes out and says who's ever the champion of this brand is moving over to this brand, and who's ever the champion of this brand is moving over to that brand. That way, neither brand has to waste a pick. You get a
Yep.
refresh.
You get a refresh. But would I mean, maybe I'm off base here, but could some say that this is the year that we could refresh, given the fact that the draft really hasn't meant anything up to this point?
I think it will be a refresh.
Yeah,
I think even
fair.
without the champions moving around, I don't think you need to move the champions around for a refresh this year because all the champions are new.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give
All
you
the
that.
and even all the titles themselves are all pretty new.
Are new.
Um,
Are new.
and so I think you don't need to move the championship around. I do like that the women's I do like that the women's tag titles
The tags
is open.
Yeah, because no, I would agree because that one doesn't really mean much.
And I haven't seen confirmation on this, but I've heard that it's also possible to be drafted down to NXT this year.
Oh, is that the case? I haven't seen that.
I haven't
confirmed, but
seen
that would be
confirmation on
awesome.
that.
Yeah, no,
but
I haven't either. That's the first I've heard of that. So that would be interesting. I would actually be interested to see who would be drafted down.
I could
if
think
that
of
were
a
the
few.
case.
I could think of a few that would really benefit to go back.
Yeah, name them. I'm curious.
Piper Nevin, I think, could really benefit from from an NXT reboot.
Definitely. No,
I would love to see her be an NXT Women's Champion.
Women's Champion. Yep, I agree. Yeah, I think they've kind of fumbled the bag with her.
Chelsea Green.
Yep.
I
agree.
Who else?
I was trying to see here.
I'm trying to think on the men's side.
This might be kind of off the wall, but what? I'm just curious. What if you put Carlito down there?
It's not. It's at that point. That's not considered a reboot. Carlito going down there would be specifically just to get other people over. Like Carlito's not looking to reboot his career.
Well, no, I know that, but I was just saying, just for
I don't know if
some eyeballs on that.
I don't know if drafting him down there is the right move on that. Getting him to go down there for some shows or a story, yeah. Especially LWO is involved down in NXT right
NXT?
now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
that's fair. That's fair. Anyway, what was your other one on the men's side? Did you think of one?
I don't know if this one is as valid as it would have been like a month or two ago. Because from what I've heard, he's going to win this WWE Speed that they're doing on X.
Oh God.
But Ricochet.
Yeah. No, I would agree that I have. Yep. Yes.
But the men's side is harder.
It is harder. Yeah, I mean, because like the women are glaring and they kind of stare you in the face.
Yeah.
Whereas the men, you really have to kind of sit and think about it because it's like, oh shit, is that?
What you think of the cuts last week? Any of the cuts really catch you off?
I'll be honest. No.
Vaughn Wagner.
Vaughn Wagner. I'll give you that one.
And Cameron Grimes.
Those
two surprised me.
Yeah.
Grimes surprised me because he's been pretty involved in NXT 2.0.
NXT, yeah.
So that one surprised me.
Yeah.
Vaughn Wagner, I feel like Vaughn Wagner is a talent they just could never figure out.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'll give you Grimes. That one was kind of surprising. Vaughn, yeah, I don't know. That's a coin flip for me, but I'll give you Grimes though.
All right, so SmackDown's got the first pick. Who do you think they take?
Cody?
No, he can't.
Or never mind. What am I talking about? No. Who are they taking? The Bloodline?
See, that was something I would have liked them to talk about more this year because last year, they did that. They let factions be drafted. And
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's bullshit. I
No,
don't like that.
yeah, I agree.
I think the whole point of the draft is to watch factions get split up.
Split. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
Or Roman. Could you see Roman
I could see
back to
Roman.
SmackDown?
I could
Back to
see
SmackDown.
Jimmy J back to SmackDown, and then you leave Solo, Tama.
Yeah,
Yeah, I read
that's
something
fair.
today that they have no timeline on Roman's return. Like
Yeah,
nothing.
I I would agree. That will be interesting. I don't know if we even see him. You think it'll be SummerSlam
I think that's the absolute earliest,
earliest?
and you
Yeah,
may not.
yeah. No, that's fair. I was trying to see. I was trying to see. Ooh, I was trying to see who else we could see. Yeah, I think that would be your pick for SmackDown. Raw. I mean, I don't probably Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I could see if I'm SmackDown, if I'm who that's
What's his face?
Aldis runs
Aldis.
SmackDown.
Aldis.
If I'm
Aldis.
Aldis, I'm picking Rollins. That's my number one overall.
100%. 100%. Yeah. That would
And
be.
I don't think Rollins has ever been like on SmackDown like that. I think he's always
No,
really been a Raw guy.
yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen him on SmackDown, so that would be kind of cool actually.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be. I feel like that'd be really cool. I was trying to see. Randy Orton on Raw.
That would be a good one. I like
That
that.
that'd be good. Randy Orton on Raw.
Main event Jay back to SmackDown.
What What about this though? You put because we've talked about it for a little bit, but what about Chad Gable on SmackDown?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah.
I think Alpha Academy's pretty much done at this point.
Oh,
I think Chad wins the Intercontinental title at Backlash.
yeah. I would agree there. Yep. I was trying to see who else we got. Uh, Interesting. Logan Paul to Raw.
Yeah. Oh yeah, which reminds me, did you see that Goldberg's comments this week?
No, I did not.
He made some comments on the show or something that
Oh God.
he's talked to Tony several times, but he won't go to AEW because the product's just too cheesy. And I was like, motherfucker, you called them and they told you no. That's what happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, well, I don't understand this guy. Why is he always chasing clout?
Because
It's always poor me. I'm Bill Goldberg. Poor
he
me.
thinks because of the what he played in the Monday Night Wars, he thinks he is like the shit. He
Well,
thinks
I
he
know
is
he
a
does. I
goat,
know.
and
I
he is
know he
not
does.
even in the
No,
top 50.
he's yeah. I was gonna say he's not in my top. Yeah, he's not in my top end. Hell yeah, hell no.
He may make top 100.
Well, yeah, top 100. I'll give him that. Yeah, top 100. That's fair. Yeah, top 50. Hell no, no. I I don't know, Josie. This may be an unfair comparison, but for the longest time, especially when they were doing Roman versus Brock there for a long time. And maybe it was just the way they were booking him and whatnot, but I was always like Brock's got a little bit of Goldberg in him, and
Mm-hmm.
and so that and like I've always just felt that, and so I've always just kind of, they've always been like, you know, in lockstep with each other for me.
To an extent, I
And
think
so, yeah,
Brock is a
not
much
fully.
better wrestler. Like
I
Brock
would agree. I would agree.
doesn't have 5-minute matches all the
No,
time.
no, he does not. And Brock, in a way, I felt was, especially the latter part here. I mean, granted, towards the end there, I felt like he was okay, like kind of reinventing himself. Like he knew when to bring in Paul Heyman, and then they knew when to,
Take Paul
kind of
out.
kind of let him go. Yeah, yeah, take him out.
Cowboy
Yeah, yeah.
Brock.
Cowboy Brock would have been a hell of a
Best
lot of
Brock, probably
fun.
one of the best Brocks
Would
we've
have been a
ever
hell of a
seen.
lot of fun. Oh God. Oh, if
Cowboy
that would have
Brock
continued, that would have been amazing.
with that
Oh,
fucking mic flip.
oh
Never
my
will I
God. Hell
forget the
yes.
mic flip where he flips it and Roman catches it without even fucking moving.
Without even moving. Oh, hell yes. No,
Um,
yeah, Cowboy. Yeah, that was fun.
Cowboy Brock is some of the best Brock. That and original Brock.
I was gonna say I was just getting ready to say I think for me you took the words right out of my mouth. I think it's original Brock and then Cowboy Brock, and I
Yeah.
think yeah,
Original Brock was just great because he never spoke.
yeah,
Heyman
yep,
just Heyman.
yep.
Heyman at that time was still very much like Paul E.
Paul E. I was gonna say very much
Um,
ECW. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I could
Oh
see
yeah.
that. I've heard some rumor on that one too. Um, Brock going to Raw.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that
So,
now that they've kind of water's kind of under the bridge with that.
oh, well, the draft locks after Raw on Monday.
Yep.
We will talk about it on Tuesday for sure.
I'm excited about it. I'll be watching it.
I'm actually probably gonna watch SmackDown
I
tomorrow night.
I I was gonna say I don't know if I'll watch it live, but I'm definitely gonna tune in.
Um, and yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. Um, it's an
What a
interesting
yeah,
wrestling world, man.
yeah, if there's anything that kind of flips it on its head a little bit, you know, I think I think I
Oh,
think in a way that's kind of what we want to see, and we want to see
I
an
did want to.
actual separation.
I did want to bring this up. It was announced last night that the Grizzled Young Vets will make their AEW debut on Collision
On Collision. Yep.
Saturday. I'm super excited for this. I actually really enjoy the Grizzled Young Vets. I don't think they were ever portrayed well in AEW. That
In
schism
AEW.
bullshit that they put them in was just stupid. They're great wrestlers. They're great wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Or in WWE in
Yeah,
NXT.
yeah. I was gonna say yep, NXT. Yep.
Um, Schism was stupid. Um,
Yep.
and I'm very excited to see this. I think it's going to be them versus the Acclaimed. So
Yep. Well,
good
and I was gonna
match.
say too. Look at the booking that they had. So yeah, not not all on them, but yeah, no, the booking definitely did not help them. No, that is exciting. I am excited to kind of see what they do outside of that. Josie, real quick, I know we haven't hit on it in a while, but have we watched much TNA lately?
I've heard about it here and there. From what I've heard, is Rebellion was kind of like the end of the Scott Demore era.
Yep.
And now it will be fully Anthem, and we'll see what happens. I know
Anthem.
I've heard that Motor City Machine Guns are in heavy talks and have not signed, but will be signing with AEW. Um,
Yep.
uh, I mean, Matt
I
Hardy
feel like
returned this week, but supposedly he's still a free agent, not officially signed. Um,
I was gonna say, did you see some of the stuff he said about AEW?
I did, and I kind of agree with some of the
Yeah,
things
no,
that he
I
said.
agree. Yeah, no, I was just curious to get your thoughts on that.
No, I think now that you've kind of got the payoff of what you wanted to do with showing the bra out footage, you do. He's right. You need to leave that alone. Like that needs to go away. It needs to not be brought
100%.
up again.
Yep.
And you need to focus on your wrestling and your business. And they really need to focus hard on keeping the backstage drama out of the goddamn news.
That to me, I think is their biggest Achilles heel for AEW is their, I know we say it on this show and you hear it other places too on the within and around the IWC, but they really need to do a better job of buttoning up, and whether we want to say, backstage is Tony Khan, do they let him walk all over him? Is he, what kind of boss is he? Does he have a stern hand? Whatever the case may be, that they need whoever that is, whatever it looks like. Yeah, they need to keep that stuff backstage, professional and everything like that in order for that stuff not to leak because it does give them a, if not a black eye, it's definitely, it's in and around that vicinity, and that they just, I don't know if they can keep taking more hits like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sad, Josie, because it's like we've talked about tonight. When they're on, they're on.
Yeah.
But when the focus is not specifically on what they do well, it looks bad.
Yeah. I agree. I
It looks bad.
100% agree. I think they need to focus on their product. I think already Double or Nothing is shaping up to be another banger ass pay per view. I'm
Yep.
already more excited to buy this than I was Dynasty.
I was gonna say. Yep.
Um,
Yep. The,
so I
this this one kept you wanting more. So,
I mean,
which is what they do well.
we're in a like this is what I wish people just could understand and enjoy it. We're in the greatest time to be a wrestling fan that there's ever been, and like people need to stop hating on it and this
And
bullshit
picking sides and just
tribalism.
enjoy it. Yeah. And
Tribalism
enjoy
needs
it.
to stop and yeah, just enjoy
Yeah.
what we've got
Enjoy it.
and
Yes.
understand that we are just in a renaissance for pro wrestling that is
No,
unlike
I
anything.
mean, let's be real. I mean, we don't know how long this is gonna last. I mean, we at the end of the day, granted, Tony can run this thing as long as I'm gonna enjoy it. But I mean, we're gonna look back on this, and we're gonna say, wow, that was really a not
We're
a
going to look
great
back
era
on it in 10,
of
20
wrestling.
years. And no,
Yes.
we are. We're going to look back on it in
Yeah.
10, 20 years and talk about it like we talk about the
Yeah.
Attitude Era.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Different vein for sure, but no,
Oh, yeah,
100.
a different vein
Yeah,
because the
100%.
TV numbers are never going to be there. But that's like
No,
also like we've discussed is with
that
the
shit
way the
don't matter.
streaming
That
and
shit
things
don't
have,
matter.
it
It
just
doesn't
don't
matter.
matter anymore.
Uh-uh. Nope.
Um,
There's different parameters that we're looking at now than we
yeah.
were back in the day.
Um, and
100%.
I have noticed it looks like AW is starting to go back to more smaller venues. Uh, they changed the venue for uh Double or Nothing. It's not going to be at the MGM
Yeah.
again this year. It's going to be back at where it was for the first year.
Yeah.
Forbidden Door is going to be in a smaller location. They're not going to
Yeah.
do it at Arthur Ashe. Um,
Yep. You watched it live, Josie. I've seen some things on social media. Was there not a lot of people at Daly's place last night?
it was packed from what I saw. Now I
From
did
what
hear
you
some
saw?
rumors that they
Yeah.
had to hire seat fillers.
Seat fillers. Yeah.
So I don't know. I take those type of rumors with a grain of salt.
Grain of salt. Yeah.
But
Fair enough. Yeah.
so
No, I was just curious since you actually watched it live. I'm jealous that you didn't have audio issues because I was really upset because I was all geeked up to watch it, and then I get on there and I get through like the first 35 minutes and I'm like, dude, I can't do this anymore.
Daly's place is always just a great atmosphere for
Yeah,
them. They always just
great
have,
wrestling venue.
yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
great venue, great
Yep.
fans.
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed that show, and then Collision and Rampage are back there this weekend. So
Yeah, I think it's going to be one hell of a match. I think that street fight
that
will be
street
something to
fight
look
is
forward.
gonna be
That
legit.
street
I'm
fight is going
so
to be something to look
excited.
forward to. I'm freaking excited about it. Now that you got it all pumped up, because I definitely didn't see that in the highlights. So now that I know that that's occurring, that leaves me wanting more and wanting to watch that. So definitely excited.
All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for me and Stacks tonight on this
Yeah,
episode of Fight Night. Thank y'all for joining us. We will be back next
yeah.
week to talk the draft results. Make sure you join us then. Will, take us out.